I don't know why it always has to be her. This lady's very nice to us, at least, here behind the camera. She talks to us all the time, driving this boat, but she's fighting with the guy in the blue shirt at the end of the dock. He left his girlfriend in the boat, went and got the truck, and of course she started fighting with the girlfriend, telling her to move the boat. And, well, it didn't wind up going so well, so now he's wanting to argue with her from the dock to her boat as she's trying to load. She always does the same thing. Drops her husband, whoever's with her off, they go get the truck, she floats, and then comes in and winds up docking, but almost always gets into an argument with somebody who's on the dock blocking a dock, telling them they should move over to the courtesy dock.
Mark, get the front of the boat, please.
Mark, get the boat, Mark! Get the boat, Mark!
Yeah, there's a little asshole.
You're the one yelling at a 15-year-old girl.
Why don't you get in your car and drive away? And then I'm going to take it. Then you'll take it this way.
As you can hear, they're going back and forth, but he did say it. He's like, you're the one yelling at a 15-year-old girl. And I thought it was kind of over, but it looks like our guy's coming back down the dock for more. He's not done going at it with his lady. It's always interesting down here at the dock. Somebody's always getting heated about something, and it's just always interesting to see how they unfold. At least this one ended peacefully. Everybody walks away. But here we go, back to the regular actions. We've got our first boat of the day coming in on approach on the dock. But welcome back, crew, to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ramps channel. I'm your host, Broncos Guru, and today we are down here visiting Boynton Beach. So Cap makes his turn in. He's got two assistants up into the front. And good approach angle and speed, especially with the little bit of turbulence he's got here. You can see the guy over here on the right's got his motor running, and the turbulence is coming all the way over to his side of the dock. So he gets somebody off on the front, grabs the boat hook to try and pull himself over, and well, there we go, the hot dog shuffle. She didn't grab any shoes, and she's back on the boat with the quickness. Like, bro, that dock is hot. So at least he was able to grab with the boat hook before she jumps back on to cool her tootsies off. And back onto the dock, but she didn't grab her shoes again. And there we go. Somebody else from the boat tosses them to her finally. So our guy's been struggling for a few minutes to try and get this jet ski off the trailer, and here we go. The old jet ski pump action to try and get it off. So he's trying to get it to break free, but she's not wanting to come off. He did get the straps off. I watched them pull the rear tie downs. I wonder if he's just not deep enough, I guess, for the trailer. So now we're going to go ahead and try and power her off as well. Throw a few horsepower and some jet ski pump action in there to see if he can get her to break free. And there we go. Finally able to get it off the trailer. And here comes our next crew on approach. So Cap taking the slow roll. He's going to have the turn in. He's going to actually have a tight turn in. He's a little too close to the dock. I probably would have came a little further out. Wifey looks like she's got a boat hook in her hand, which will probably be their saving grace on this one. Because I got to imagine as he's turning around here, that stern's going to kick out. So there we go. He's lined up at the dock. Going to have to push in on it now. And I think she's grabbed with the hook already. A little prematurely, has to let it go. And now Captain's kind of drifting off the dock. She's going to go back for the grab again to try and pull him over, but as we mentioned earlier, came in too tight. That stern's kicking out on him. And we're going to go bow in. Bow's going to wind up hitting the dock, and stern's kicking out. So she's trying to move closer to a mid-section of the boat to be able to pull the whole vessel over. And Cap just literally takes the boat hook out of her hand, and it's because he's got to push off the boat behind him because they're sliding back into it. So uses the push off, their vessel, to try and get him back over. And now they're going to get it pulled over, and our guy from the other side is going to start loading. But it looks like that push-off may have actually messed with him a little bit. But finally, they've got this one on the side of the dock. So our next crew making their approach in, and we got one of those pesky bow rails up on the front of this boat. Always interesting to see people try and get over these to get onto the dock. So Cap's coming in with the slow roll approach, taking his time, trying to get it lined up. And gets the step off and looks pretty solid on this one. And she's going to try pulling him around to get him level and lined up with the dock. So she's trying to get it over. The stern's trying to stay kicked out a little bit on him. There we go. We get a step off, but I don't think did he step off without a line? No, maybe he's got one in his hand. I just couldn't quite see it there, as we're not zoomed in enough. So next crew on approach. So Cap's got his mate up at the bow, getting lines, it appears, on the ready for them to be able to roll. Taking the slow roll approach toward the dock. Gotta love that. As she gets up into the bow, ready to make that step off. So she makes the easy step off onto the dock, but the stern's kicking in toward that metal pole. Well, the concrete piling that has the metal pole around it. They need to push off before then. They don't want to get into contact with that. That's a good way to scuff that gel coat pretty fast. So she's trying to hang on to it. She's got to get it pulled around as they're sliding even further back, and they're going to wind up on that pole. So I'm not sure why she's not pulled them forward and off of that yet. So she starts to walk the line up where they can get around. And there we go. Cap's got off the boat to try and push it off as well. And that should be good to roll. They should be able to get it walked up alongside the dock from here. And they should be good to go. And speaking of good to go, we're going to go ahead and get out of here as well. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, does some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we got Boats vs. Haulover, where me and a machine take on Mother Nature down a beautiful Haulover inlet. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.